Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Sheila Bila coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas Season 7, Episode 5. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this episode. For some reason, I don't know, I haven't been feeling myself the last, few days or whatever, last week or so. And I've been trying to push, you gotta push out of whatever you got going on in your head and in your body. And I've really been trying to push, but it seems as if the more I push, the more I, you know, get crazy or whatever. So I almost felt like I didn't want to do the review, but I did need to do the review because I didn't want to not talk to y'all about Sistas, because I actually do like the show, and I wanted to talk to y'all about it, but it was like I was just having a battle between my mind and whatever was going on. Because child, if it was up to me, I would just close my door, turn the lights off, and be in my room and sit in silence. And that is not healthy. That is not healthy. So I have to push out, push out, push out, push out. And I just want to thank everybody for rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I love you all your comments. I love your likes. I just love everything. And that's really what made me really get up and go ahead and do the review. And I do work from home, and I gotta work. But child, sometimes I just feel like I don't even want to do that no more. But anyway, we're going to get into the episode of Sistas. Enough about me. This is why y'all came here, to talk about Sistas, and we're going to talk about it, right? And we're just going to let it flow. We're going to let it flow. I got notes and all this other stuff, but sometimes when I be looking at them notes, I get confused. I can't read my handwriting sometimes. But we're just going to let it flow. Y'all know I like to ad-lib. I like to have fun with the story. Yeah, and this was actually a really good episode. It's like we're moving along. The plots are starting to thicken, so let's get into it. And I saw one of the writers was named April. So, hey, girl, okay. Okay, well, let's get into it, right? Here we go. So the episode picks up where it left off. And the episode picks up where it left off, where Zach was coming into Karen's salon, calling this girl name out real loud, walking around her shop looking for her. And so Karen comes out like, hey, Zach, what's up? I thought you weren't coming and all that stuff, He was like, well, look, I just really came to ask you for a DNA test. I was like, oh, okay, come straight out, tell me how you really feel. So Karen is just like, but I already told you that I took a DNA, and Aaron is not the father. Aaron is already ruled out, so pretty much that only leaves you. And Zach is just like, well, just because you ruled Aaron out, that don't mean anything, because technically you never even got my DNA. So we don't even know who the baby daddy is. And Karen is like, so what you trying to say, that I'm a liar? What you trying to say? He like, well, no, I'm not really trying to say, you a liar. But in the same breath, he like, just because Aaron is at the picture, I mean, I don't know who else you've been sleeping with, because from my understanding back in college, you used to be getting around, And Karen is like, hold on, wait, no. So you know what? You talking about we. Oh, I get it. This is Fatima. This has Fatima written all over it. So she done sent you down here to come and try to get a DNA test for our kid. But it's cool. I thought you was going to come down here and congratulate me on my grand opening. But you over here trying to call me out, whatever. And Zach is like, well, no, I'm not trying to say you like a sleep around, a 304 or whatever. You putting words in my mouth. But technically, Zach, you is kind of calling her out like she just running around here sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So, I mean, yeah, I understand you do want your DNA test and all of that, but I mean, there are better ways to ask, in my opinion, because I just look at it like this is this girl's grand opening. And when I was looking at it, they were getting kind of loud, and it really did kind of disrupt her day, because at first she was really happy, but then she ended up getting really sad because, he coming in here charging her about this DNA test. He's telling her pretty much she's sleeping around. And yeah, I understand you done ruled out Aaron, but that leaves me. And Zach is kind of over it. And now Karen is like, you know what? No. He like, no, I don't want you in our child's life. I'm good. I don't even need you coming over here like that, doing it. And so as they're over there talking real loud, because I'm like, I know, don't nobody hear them. I know somebody hear them. Apparently Trey heard them. So Trey heard them. He gets up and he come over there and he just like, hey, you good? Like, Karen, you good? He like, hey, bro, let's not do this here. Like, what, we got a problem here? We got a problem here. And he talking about, I'm just checking on the lady to make sure that she good. And then here goes Zach. So this supposed to be your man? Like, dude. Oh, so this supposed to be your man? Anyway, so my girls hold me down. So, they go into the whole sister song and then it comes back on. So now here you have Maurice. Maurice is having a good time. I guess it's lights, camera, and action. So Maurice is famous because he got the fixation page, child, hashtag fans only. He got the fixation page. So he's a superstar. Now, how many people be watching this page? Because this party is full of people taking pictures. He's talking about the white girls and all this stuff. He's taking it back like, no pictures, no pictures, no pictures. But they taking pictures. But the main reason why he down there is because somebody that be watching him on the fixation page, they said they want to meet him. They want to, I guess, mentor. They want them to mentor him or whatever. But they meeting up. Maybe I don't know. But Maurice says he's looking for somebody in a gray shirt. I guess his name is Grayson. And so when I was looking at Mr. Grayson, I said, you know what? Tyler Perry really does have a type, because this Grayson dude looked like Trey. The mouth and everything. Let me find out that Trey is playing two characters. On one of them, he got them little plaits in his head, and on this one, he acting like a gay man with Maurice. Because I'm just like, this man look like Trey. Is this a twin? I don't know. Now, I don't read the credits to know who played who. Maybe I need to go and find out. Because this dude looked just like him. And then you know who also he looked like? He looked like Sky. I think his name, I forget what his last name is. The guy that's married to KJ Smith. The one, is his last name Smith? That's married to Andy on the show, real name KJ. Her husband looked like this dude too. I said, boy, Tyler Perry knows all these men be kind of looking the same. These love interests. Outside of the ones, Tony and Rich and I. Why am I talking about this? Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so he comes up. Of course, Maurice thinks he looks fine. Grayson, he thinks that Maurice looks good. And you got the bartender in the back. He ready for whatever. And they talking about he look like 50 Shades of Grey and he fine and all this other stuff. So then they end up talking about, how long he's been there. Apparently Grayson has been there for 8 months. He was in a relationship. It didn't work. And then Maurice like, what did he do? He was talking about, well, how y'all break up? He was like, well, the dude had passed away from cancer. And Maurice was like, oh, okay, So Grayson gives a lot of his background, and so Grayson wants to know what's up with you, Maurice, like, what's been going on with you. And so Maurice like, this ain't about me. We'll talk about me on our 5th date, And so technically Grayson think that this is a date. Maurice just like, oh, okay, it is what it is. I like to get you better, because we all know that Maurice is traumatized from everything that has happened with him in the past with Q and all of that stuff. So, okay, Maurice, go ahead and you do what you do. All right, so over here back at the shop, they are getting loud because Mama Lisa had to come from the back to tell Zach, like, I thought I told you don't come here. I thought I told you not to come in. And Karen looking like, dang, Mama, I didn't know you talked to him. But she didn't say it right then, but she just kind of looked at him like, what? Whatever. So Zach still looking at Trey like, oh, you coming up like you want to do something, whatever, But he walks on that. I'm glad that there wasn't a fight, but you can tell that the tension was really high between all of them. And so as Mama Lisa escorts Zach out, and Trey is looking at Karen, asking her, you want water and all that stuff, all of that. And yeah, so now Pam is just like, you know what, girl? The whole situation with you and Zach, he wants a DNA test. Why don't you just go ahead and give him one? He seems like he really wants to be in his child's life, because that delivery dude can't, he's not going to be able to support you the way Zach going to be able to support you. And I mean, I don't know if this delivery dude has multiple businesses because we never really got into his background like that. So we don't know if he has multiple delivery services, but it looks like from where the way they're trying to talk about it is as if this dude really ain't got no money like that. And that Karen really does need to go ahead and give Zach what he wants because he will be able to help her more financially when it comes to the child and, you know, I guess her way of living, her life living or whatever. And I know a lot of people always feel like the child support, okay, at first they do have to get a DNA test, but if if we do find out that this is his baby, you know, people always say, well, it ain't for her to keep up her upkeep. This is for the child. But at the end of the day, if her business is going to take care of her child, I mean, I don't understand. So if she needs money to take care of her child, which means that she has a business that's going to also take care of her child. To me, as long as she's not out here buying bags and not doing anything for her child, then I understand. But if this money that she receives is going to benefit, you know, her as a whole, then yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with child support keeping the lights on for their child. Because that don't make sense for me to have my lights off and my child got clothes and shoes and we ain't got no lights. That's not how it works. It's supposed to be for the upkeep of the living situation of the child. As long as everything is in the intent to help the child, then I think everything is okay. And if her business helps the child, then that's what she needs the money for. That's what she needs it for. Dang, I feel like I'm ranting a lot. But anyway, I know y'all gonna probably disagree. That money ain't for her business. I mean, slick, yes it is. Because she gotta take care of her kid with that money that she brings in from her business. Anyway. Oh, one more thing. Somebody did address that Karen was renting. And I was like, I didn't hear, but today Pam did say that Pam is renting. And I'm just like, Pam, no, that Karen is renting. And I'm like, I don't know if this is a writer's glitch because Pam did say this rent is high. But I thought she bought the building. Like the writers need to get on the same page with that. So let us know, writers, if you're listening, is she buying this place or is she renting this place? Because that's not doing anything. All right, so while they over there talking, child, Danni gets up and she get to clanking her glass. Clank, 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 clank. And she over there drunk, child. She giving a drunk toast, talking about congratulations to my girl Karen. Her shop done burnt down. And then she talking about she in therapy. I'm like, girl, this is not... At least you showed up. How about that? At least you showed up. Yeah. All right. Somebody come get her glass, which Karen did. She went over there and got her glass, and then she made her toast. She just thanked everybody for being there, and she was just happy and all that stuff. She said she was, happy, but now her mood has changed since Zach then came over there and asked her for a DNA test, just pulling her mood down. And yeah, but that's pretty much how that scene ended. So Zach had to go to the workout spot, right? So he going to work out or whatever. He comes home. Fatima come in. She like, oh, so you had to go work out? He was just like, yeah, he had to get a lot of testosterone out. He had to get a lot of stuff out of his chest. And then he brings up that he went over there to Karen's to ask for the DNA test. And Zach says, well, she said that he accused her of sleeping around. Fatima like, well, yeah. But I mean, hey, I look at it like whatever you did back in college ain't got nothing to do with today. And according to what I've seen on Tyler Perry's Sistas, when it came down to this DNA test, it was only between two people, her and Aaron. But we do need to get Zach's DNA just to finalize that this is what it is. And Fatima's whole thing is, well, shoot, if she ain't giving no DNA test, then she ain't getting no money. It is what it is. And then Fatima really do be bossing Zach. I ain't gonna lie. Fatima be bossing Zach. She be bossing him. And I don't know why nobody sees it for some reason. Fatima be bossing him. Like telling him what he gonna do with his money. Telling him what he gonna... I mean, yes. Because there is a way to tell somebody something and everybody, be cool with it. But she be like, nope, we ain't doing this. Nope, you need to go down there. You need to do this. She do be bossing him slick. I mean, it is what it is, and he like it. I love it. He always talking about he love her so much and all this, and then she bringing up, baby Michael, like, hey, when we do get baby Michael, he gonna need some therapy because everything that he's been going through. And she said she been looking up schools and all this stuff. And then Zach is like, oh, thank you so much. If I can marry you today, I will. What you need, you know what I'm saying? You need a Fatima in your life to keep you structured, because Zach is not structured. And that is where Fatima comes in at. Fatima really tells him how to live his life. You know what I'm saying? She really do. I mean, and Zach be like, okay. I mean, because she do. She tells him what to do, how to do it, and he didn't have that before because, I mean, technically, he didn't have a mother type figure. And Fatima is slick like his mama, girlfriend, baby, everything type of person. And the type of person that Zach is, because he can get unhinged sometimes and he can lose focus. So he does need a Fatima to keep him in focus. Yeah. But anyway, so they end up at the end of this conversation having they about to go get it in session. All right. So you have Andy here. She was on the phone with her man, Jordan, and they're going to end up having lunch. So she gets out the phone with him. Fatima comes in. And Fatima saying, she happy in the glow and all that stuff. They talk about Jordan. And then Fatima's like, so I want to ask you about, your friend Karen. Andy don't really want to get into it, but she kind of obliges just a little bit. And so Fatima's just like, what's going on with her, Zach going over there asking for a DNA test and all of that stuff. But Andy said, well, she heard it different. She heard that Zach went over there making a scene. Fatima said, well, she didn't hear that, Zach made no scene or anything like that. But my thing is this, Fatima. You were not there. Just the same way Andy wasn't there, you're hearing secondhand information. So Zach may have felt as if he didn't cause a scene, but if someone has to come and escort him out because it is getting a little loud, and if someone has to jump in and be like, hey, Karen, you all right? That's like slick a scene. If people have to mediate between the two, that's a scene. Because if it wasn't a scene, wouldn't nobody never notice that they was over there arguing about a DNA test. And yeah. But Fatima is still on, no, that ain't what happened. And this dude named Trey, they bringing up the delivery guy named Trey. Andy, she taking it back. She was like, hold on, wait, Trey? Okay, well, yeah, Danny did say that this, buff dude came over there, to try to intervene or whatever. So they talk about that a little bit. And I know Andy probably like, dang, Karen ain't told me about nobody named Trey. Yeah, because Andy, you've been in your own business when it came to Jordan and what you got going on at the office. So now they bring up what they have going on at the office. But Andy does say, don't worry about all of this stuff. Let's worry about the child that is his. And don't forget, y'all need to be prepared for this, this hearing and all that tomorrow. Okay. So then Fatima brings up, right, so you need to be concerned about Hayden, because Hayden seems like he's on some other stuff. So y'all need to both keep y'all eyes out on what's going on between the two of y'all. You keep your mind focused on this kid, and you keep your mind focused on being an ex-partner. So that's pretty much what that is. All right, so Gary is in his office, and Gary hears on the radio about Jordan, how Jordan is this stand-up dude in the community. He's a basketball coach and all this other stuff, and he's running for council. So Gary is upset because he don't want to hear nothing good about Jordan. So he over here dang near smashing his laptop in the desk. So while he over there being loud, the white dude come in telling, and Gary is like, you need to get that story now. You need to get that story now. White dude like, hey, you need something to take the edge off. No, not now. So apparently Gary is going to try to concoct some story, some salacious story to put out on Jordan, to make Jordan look like a bad guy. That's pretty much what it is, so he can slander his campaign. So they're trying to put out a fake one at that, because Gary talking about she's just trying to take everything that's his. I'm like, but dang, Gary, how he taking stuff that's yours and you threw it away? You said you didn't even like Andy. Now you over here talking about he taking what's yours. But anyway. So you have Danni here. Danni is in counseling, and this is her first counseling session. I think she did really, really good. She's starting to get to the root of her problem. And she ended up talking about the men in her life. She talked about Preston and, you know, how they just couldn't really work out. And then in the midst of her and Preston having a break, she ended up talking to Jonah. And Jonah is the one that she couldn't see that evil side, because in her head, Jonah was doing like every other man was doing, telling her things that she wanted to hear. But come to find out, he wasn't that man. He, you know, we all know the story with Jonah. He hit her and she ran him over in the car. And Creisha, that's the Creisha, the therapist lady. She was like, "Girl, you hit him with your car." I mean, like, yeah, he shouldn't have hit me. I had to get my leg back. I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, so she was just like, yeah, you know, that's what happened. And then Krisha asked her, you know, is this the first time that you've ever been in an abusive relationship outside of, you know, the men that you have recently dated? She said her first experience was back in college. He was a football star. And, you know, she was feeling herself. She thought she was all that. But the dude, you know, I guess he humbled her real quick, you know. And then she also talked about, you know, she had insecurities into, and he would make her insecure, talk about her weight. He would try to make her something that she's not, like her weight, and just try to downgrade her and all this other stuff. So one particular day, he took her and he choked her out and was calling her all kind of, you know, names and wars and all that other stuff. And that's when the abuse began. You know, he choking her out and all that. So yeah, he abused her. And yeah, that's why she is the way that she is. And she said she thought she buried that memory. But the thing about it is, it's so crazy how we feel like we can bury stuff just because we don't think about it and we move on to our day-to-day lives. But we just don't know how things that we bury, it projects through us all the time. Like it's like a subconscious or unconscious. It's a subconscious. You know what I'm saying? It just speaks through. And shoot, child, maybe that's why I'm in the mood the way that I am, because of stuff that I done tried to bury back in my day. And I'm just trying to push through it, you know. But and it's in all of us. If you had traumatic instances that have happened into our lives, it doesn't matter if you're a kid, a teenager, however it is, it shows up. We think that we're suppressing that memory, but we're really not. It's just showing up in our moods and our behaviors, the way that we speak to people, being irritable, you know, having a spirit of avoidance, because that's what I have, because I don't like to talk to nobody. I just like to sit and just, no, I don't want to deal with the people today. I don't want to deal with the world today. So it shows up. And we just gotta recognize this spirit and face it head on and just try to push through it. Like the more we push through it, the more that we can defeat it. But child, that's easier said than done, because I've been whoo, enough about me. Let's come on. All right, so that's it. So Danni is recognizing that, and that's good for her. All right, so Sabrina went over to see Rich, and Rich is happy because Rich is moving on with his life. Like, yeah, I'm so happy to see you. I got these new plans coming up. He shows her the plans about the building. He talking about he want a yoga center and he want a karate place. We want a bunch of stuff. And so while he over there talking to Sabrina sees this woman with a baby coming in, and she just looking like, that's what I want. You know, like that's her future. That's what I want. And she's really not even listening to Rich, what he got going on about his yogas and all that other stuff. And so Sabrina is just like, well, I got plans of my own too. He's like, oh, what? You know, you need me to help you in entrepreneurship? No, nigga, I don't need you to help me do that. I'm going to freeze my eggs. Why Rich demeanor just changed? Rich is like, oh, yeah. I think that's a good idea because, you know, whoever you be with, that'll be something that you want to do in the future. I'm like, God, dog, Sabrina, this man don't want what you want. Stop. Stop. I wouldn't even date him. And I'm so serious. I wouldn't even date him. Because Sabrina, this is a waste of time. This whole relationship is a waste of time. Why are you dating him? Why? Why do women put themselves in situations thinking that they can change a man's mind? And just because you freezing your eggs, there is no telling how long you're going to be in this man's life You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and let him go. I think you better let him go. Just let him go and find you somebody that want the same things you want. Because this man clearly don't. He clearly don't. Girl, go to work. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Anyway, so now we have Karen again. She's getting money from her Mama Lisa. And Mama Lisa like, look, I'm going to give you this check. I'm happy to do it. You my daughter and I. But why don't you just go ahead and give Zach the DNA? Just give him the DNA. Because he can really help you in your situation. You ain't got to come to me for money every month. Once you get this DNA test, let this man help you at the end of the day. And yes, like I said earlier, I'm not repeating what I said. Just rewind what I said earlier for y'all that want to say this ain't got nothing to do with it. Yes, it does. All of it. All right. And even Trey over there talking about, so that's your baby daddy? Yeah, that's my baby daddy. Oh, well, he seems like he want to be in his life. Maybe you should let him. You know, Karen like, oh, yeah, whatever. I'm finna go get something to eat. You want to come get something to eat? Karen like, yeah, I could eat. You can clearly see they gonna hook up. That's finna be her new man. That's what it seemed like to me, because she really like him. And she didn't do Aaron like that. Anyway. So now you have Penelope. Penelope comes in after Gary and the white dude, they was over there doing whatever the day was doing. So she saw an opening and she going through in his office, rummaging through his stuff. She sees a picture of Andy. Then she sees that he has a warrant. And she's like, oh my God, what you got going on now? But anyway, so he comes in. She plays it out for a good time. But I brought you lunch. I was over here because I didn't think I didn't see any plasticware so you can eat your lunch. And yeah, she just tried to sweet talk him. Okay, baby, I just brought you lunch and kiss you. I love you. I see you later on today. So she ends up leaving. And Gary was real mean to her because, he out here doing some old messed up stuff. So as she ends up leaving, then dude come in, he just like, you got the stuff, like you got this file, because he really is trying to put out this salacious story on Jordan, because he's trying to get Jordan out of there. All right, so that's pretty much what that is. All right, so now you have Danni and Tony again, and Danni is really there to tell Tony that she don't want to go to lunch with him later, go to dinner with him later. And he brings up the whole counseling session, and you can tell that Danni is actually, she's standoffish, and she said that the therapist said that's one of her coping mechanisms, or her defense mechanisms, is to push people away when she is in a mood, like when she doesn't want to, when she feels triggered by something, she pushes the people away. And Tony is just like, look, I'm glad that you're going through therapy and all of that stuff, but please don't push me away. Because I really want to be around. Like, I really want to be there for you, so please don't push me away. And he said he's going to make it to where you can't push her away. And she was just like, okay, whatever. And she gets up, she walks off, and then she says, you know what, you can come over tonight. Because at first he asked to come over later on, and she said no. But then she turns back around and changed her mind and said that he could come over. All right. So now, here we are, Fatima and Andy. So apparently one of the guys that was in the race with Jordan, I think his name was Bassett or something like that. Bassett had a scandal come out. Some with a little 17-year-old girl. One of his mentors, he been, it's always the mentor. He been sleeping with the little girl, right? So this gets Fatima wary, because she said, when one candidate comes out with a salacious stories, then all of the candidates starts to come out with salacious stories. So are you sure that, Jordan is good? And Andy is like, yeah, Jordan good. I don't think he has nothing to worry about. And Fatima like, all right, these red flags be flagging. So keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. And so while they're talking, why Hayden over there gonna come over and talk about some, hey, yeah, I said, if somebody can hit Hayden in the back of the head, all right, bye. So now you have Sabrina and Paige. They at work. And child, Paige, Karen, I'm going to call her Karen Paige. Yeah, because she's taking a page out of Karen's book. Okay. And then not that Karen. I'm talking about the Karen, the whistle, the Karen that just be over here accusing people of doing stuff. That, that white Karen. So Karen Paige, she over here all in Sabrina work, talking about, yeah, Sabrina, did you get the Mr. I think his name was Powell or somebody ended up calling trying to go over his numbers. And Karen Page is just like, oh well, your numbers are off. They're off. And Sabrina like, first of all, why are you going through my stuff? Like, don't go through my stuff. And then Sabrina break it down to it like, you're reading it wrong. If you check column C, it does show that he has an earning of $500,000. Yeah. Yeah, Karen Page, shoot along. And then she said, and don't go through my stuff. If my client needs me, let them come to me, not you. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. And then she walk off like her knees shaking. Girl, bye. Bye, Miss Karen Page. And child, Gary is on the phone because he gets a phone call from Hayden. And Hayden, of course, brings up Andy. And they still trying to do this whole thing. And Hayden is like, I'm just trying to keep you out of jail, trying to keep the FBI off of you, Gary. So what we going to do about Andy? And he says he got that taken care of. And then Hayden ends up bringing up the story about the other candidate. And that's when Gary says, well, you know what? I already got that under control. You know, he going to pretty much put something out on Jordan. And then Hayden is like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, are you sure? And it's almost like sometimes Hayden have sense. Like, you sure you want to do this, bro? But then sometimes he don't have sense when it comes to getting what he wants. It's almost like when he sees that Gary is doing something stupid, he always kind of, you know, I'm not going to say check Gary, but he always like, man, you don't need to do that. Like, you going too far now. But then when it's something he wants, he don't care by any means necessary. And it's the same way with Gary. When Gary wants to do what he wants to do, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It's by any means necessary. But then when it's something that Hayden doing that he sees he's doing wrong, then just like with the whole Tamara situation, you don't need to be with her. She a gold digger. It's like they can see each other flaws, but when it comes to themselves, they can't see nothing, which is crazy. But anyway. So, again, Fatima says, you know, she's leaving. You know, do you need anything else for her? No, I don't need anything else. You know, Andy is about to go to lunch. And Fatima tells her again, you know, keep your eye out for Jordan. You know, all of that stuff. Keep your eyes out. Red flags. All right. And then Andy does say, you know, get prepared for the hearing tomorrow. All of that. So now, dang, did I already do? I guess I did do, yeah, I guess I did talk right over this because I already said this already about them going to dinner. She said she don't want to go to dinner. But then she ends up changing her mind and said that he can come on over to the house. So that's pretty much what that was. All right. And so now you have Fatima and Zach. So Zach is just sitting there. He's just trying to get everything in order for his kids. Well, not Jordan, but Michael. And then he says that he wants to be in both of his kids' lives. And here go Fatima again. She was like, boy, can we just get a DNA test? Like, I understand that, but can we? And then Zach is like, okay, dude, like, calm down. Okay, whatever. So he brushes off that little conversation. Then they end up talking about he's also trying to prepare himself for the hearing on tomorrow. And he just wants everything to be right. He said because the first one went pretty good. He wants the second one to go because he really wants to be in both of his boys' lives. So that's pretty much it. Y'all, when I tell y'all that this disturbed me, I don't know how y'all felt about it, but this really disturbed me. I'm like, why is he always... I mean, there's one thing to be affectionate in a relationship, and I'm all down for the affection, but sometimes there's this thing like overly affectionate because I noticed that Jordan is this way with his sister Penelope. They're always touching each other. Like they're always touching each other. They're always gazing into each other's eyes. Like they're just, I don't know. It's just like creepy. Like they really, like they like each other for real, for real. You know, ain't they kind of weird? And then it's like, and then like now Jordan is like kissing like a little dog. You know how a dog just sit up and lick on you? Like he like a little dog. Like, give me your hands, give me your body, give me your face. Like a old creeper almost. It's almost like a turnoff, you know? I like the affection, but I don't like it that much. Can I eat? Now need to go get some hand sanitizer because you done put your slobber all on my knuckles and my fingers. Can't even eat my salad good. But anyway, so get Andy politely pulls her hand back because she seemed like she was disgusted by it too. But she keep a smile on her face. And then, they bring up the whole Bassett dude. Like, this stuff came out about this guy. Everything good with you. You don't have no scandals. He was like, nah, I ain't got nothing. He said that my stuff is minuscule. Ain't nothing really they ain't got nothing on me, pretty much. So she just like, okay, what I'm saying, just making sure that everything is going to be good with you because she don't want no surprises either. And so after they talk about that, they all kissing on each other, child. Ooh, child, they kissing on each other and they eat. And then as they're walking out the building, why Gary looking at them like this? Why is Gary looking at them like this? This reminds me, I think it was the Carl Thomas video. I wish I never met her. When I think they were in the Carl Thomas video, when the girl that he wish he never met was in the scene with her. I guess it was her dude and he was driving by. Was that him? I think that was Carl Thomas. Or was it Darnell Jones? It was one of them. No, I think it was Carl Thomas because he was like, and I wish I never met her. I said, boy, you look crazy, like an old creeper. So anyway, so he out there in the parking lot looking at Jordan and Andy having they all on the child, kissing and touching and rubbing all on the side of the car while he over there snorting up the booger sugar. Then while he putting his hand on his gun, his little hitter. And I'm like, what you gonna do with the gun, Gary? Like, what you gonna do with it? What you gonna do? Are you finna do something with this? Please let me know. What you finna do with it? But anyway, he don't get the chance to do nothing with it because they end up driving off and he just got the thing, the little gun or whatever, looking out the window with the gun. But I'm just like, I guess, I'm like, yeah, what you gonna do with this? Who you finna shoot? I mean, like, who you finna pow? Who? Jordan? Andy? Can you think twice before you do something stupid? Anyway, y'all, this is Sheila Bila. This is the end of Sistas. I just want to thank y'all. If y'all got through the end of this with me, thank you so much. Give yourself a round of applause because I do feel like I was all over the place because my mood is really off. And I'm just trying to get through there, like I said. But this episode was really, really good to me. I just like that they are moving the storyline forward. I just love the fact that Danni is getting therapy. I'm so happy for her. I'm happy for I'm not happy, but I'm glad that they are moving the story forward as far as the whole salaciousness. You know what I'm saying? Sabrina needs to make a decision because that dude, girl, don't do it. Find you something else to do. And I also wish Fatima would find her something else to do, to be honest, because I know they have the show Zatima, but it's almost like on this show, it's like she's helping everybody else. I just want Fatima to help herself. I want Fatima to be, I want her to do what she do. Go. I want to see her in school. I want to see her, doing trial cases. I want to see all this stuff for Fatima. If she's going to be on this show, I want to see her story. She helping Andy. She helping Zach. She helping everybody else but herself. So that's what I do want to see too. And yeah, that's all. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. And y'all have a great day. Bye.